When some people think about the new moon, they think about manifestation or intention setting, or simply the beginning of another lunar cycle. Yet most people let this lunation pass without giving it much thought at all. However, ancient civilizations carefully observed the moon and used these cycles to guide agriculture, rituals, ceremonies, and just everyday life. They work with this luminous energy to help them make better decisions, to align with cosmic wisdom, and to just live more intentionally. For thousands of years, our ancestors understood that nature flows in cycles and that we can achieve greater balance and harmony when we operate within these cycles. In this video, I'll show you why the new moon deserves your attention and what makes it an ideal time for reflection, intention setting, and planning, and how you can begin to use it as a practical tool for aligning with your purpose. My approach is rooted in ancient African cosmological wisdom, but the principles we'll explore apply to anyone seeking to align with their divine calling. So let's begin. First off, why should we pay attention to the new moon? Well, before we talk about what to do during the new moon, it's very important to understand why this particular phase of the lunar cycle deserves our attention. Astronomically, the new moon occurs when the moon passes between the earth and the sun, making it nearly invisible from an earthly perspective. Although we can't see it, something important is happening. A new lunar cycle has begun. This hidden phase reminds us of a truth that nature demonstrates again and again. Some of the most important stages of creation begin long before they become visible. A seed develops beneath the soil before it breaks through the surface. A child develops in the womb before birth. Even our greatest ideas often take shape in the hidden crevices of our minds before they become reality. The new moon invites us into that same process and flow. It encourages us to slow down, reflect on where we are, and determine where we're going, and to prepare ourselves for the next phase of the cycle. It reminds us that intentional living doesn't begin when things start moving, it begins through thoughtful preparation. This is one of the reasons why our ancestors paid so close attention to the moon. They understood that nature was not separate from humanity. We are part of nature, and it is central to our existence. By paying attention to its recurring rhythms, they understood the best times for them to reflect, to plan, and to begin anew. That same opportunity is available to us every single lunar cycle. The question is whether we recognize and make good use of it. From an ancient African cosmological perspective, observing the moon wasn't about predicting the future. It was about learning to live in harmony with the natural rhythms that shape life itself. That's exactly how we'll approach the new moon. So, how do we work with the new moon? Now that we understand why the new moon is so important, let's talk about how to work with it in a practical way. Remember, this isn't about superstition or trying to force the cosmos to give you what you want. It's about using the monthly cycle as an opportunity to become more intentional, to align with your purpose, and to prepare for the next phase of your journey. One of the most important things that you can do during the new moon is to reflect on the cycle that's in. Take some time out to honestly evaluate the phase that you just completed. Ask yourself questions like, what went well this month? What challenges did I face? What drained or distracted me? Or what brought me closer to my purpose? Reflection helps us to become more aware of ourselves and our surroundings. Every lunar cycle offers lessons, and those lessons become valuable only when we take the time out to recognize them. If we skip this phase, we're much more likely to repeat the same patterns during the next cycle. Another thing you can do during the new moon is to cleanse your space and your spirit. So once you reflected, you can create a space for a new beginning. For many people, this starts with the physical environment. You can clean your home, you can organize your workspace, clear away clutter, remove anything that just no longer serves you during this particular phase. Our external environment usually reflects our internal state of being. Many traditions around the world also include different forms of spiritual cleansing. So, this might involve rituals like spiritual baths or sweat lodges, things like that. The specific practice isn't is nearly as important as the intention behind it. Instead, it helps us to remove negative or unproductive energetic interferences that might be blocking our path. The purpose of cleansing is to start fresh and anew so that you can enter the next phase of your journey with a clear mind, an open heart, and a renewed sense of purpose. The next thing that you can do is to set intentions that align with your purpose. This is the time to establish your intentions for the cycle ahead. This is where I think that so many people misunderstand the new moon. Setting intentions isn't the same as making wishes or manifestation, as it's often called in New Age culture. It's not about writing down everything that you hope will happen and expecting the cosmos to just make it magically appear. An intention should be realistic, meaningful, and connected to your purpose or your divine path. For example, if part of your destiny includes creating a business, for instance, that allows you to serve others and to create financial independence for yourself, a realistic new moon intention might be to complete your business plan or to register for your company, to launch your website or secure your first client, depending on where you are in that process. Those are meaningful steps that move you towards a larger vision. On the other hand, an intention like, I'm going to build a $1 billion empire, isn't rooted in realistic goal setting practices because it focuses solely on the outcome, not the actual process that's required to achieve it. The new moon teaches us that meaningful outcomes are acquired in phases and in cycles. Also, keep in mind that your intentions should align with your destined path, not trying to force outcomes. When your intentions are connected to your life's calling, each lunar cycle becomes another opportunity to walk more intentionally in that direction. If you're not yet sure what your purpose is, don't worry. Understanding your destiny or your divine path is a journey in and of itself. Much of my work on my Asanee 44 Ashe Academy YouTube channel explores the Ifa tradition and its teachings on destiny and living in alignment with your divine calling. If that's something that you're interested in exploring more deeply, definitely check out that channel after watching this video. So let's get back to it. The last thing I want to discuss is creating a plan of action. One of the biggest mistakes that people often make is believing that setting intentions is enough. It isn't. Intentions create direction, but taking actionable steps creates results. So you want to break down your intentions into actionable steps that you can realistically accomplish by asking yourself questions like, what should I do first? What changes do I need to make? What are my priorities this month? What does my timeline really look like? What should I add to my calendar this month? Things like that. The new moon is the beginning of the cycle, not the completion of it. Once you've reflected, cleansed, set your intentions, and created your plan, your responsibility is now to begin taking consistent steps to complete it throughout the weeks that follow. Each new moon becomes another opportunity to refine your path, to deepen your commitment to your purpose, and to continue creating the life that you're called to live. As you've seen throughout this video, the new moon isn't simply another phase in the lunar cycle. It is an opportunity to realign with your purpose and to intentionally prepare for the road ahead. While these practices can be repeated during every new moon phase, each lunation has its own unique qualities based on where the moon is traveling throughout the cosmos. Those qualities can help you identify areas that are especially favorable for reflection or intention setting or practical planning during that particular cycle. For example, let's say the new moon occurs in Taurus. It may be an ideal time to focus on financial goals or building long term stability, improving your relationship with money, improving your sense of self worth, even so, connecting with your relationships, or even so, creating a more secure home environment. A new moon in another sign with varying planetary aspects will naturally emphasize different themes and opportunities during that particular phase. That's one reason this channel exists. Here on Asanee 44 Ancestral Awakening, we explore each new and full moon through the lens of ancient African cosmological wisdom, helping generational healers and chosen ones in particular understand the themes, the opportunities, the energy that each lunar cycle brings and how to apply them in practical ways that support their purpose, their destiny, and their ancestral legacy. If that resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe and join me each month as we explore these lunar cycles together. Until next time, remember to honor the lunar phases, remain committed to your purpose, and remember that meaningful transformation doesn't happen all at once. Like the moon itself, it develops one phase at a time. As always, guys, Ashe, please have a very blessed and beautiful day and beyond.